Have you ever made any changes to your models only to realize that you needed to revert to a previous version? Without a proper system in place, a simple mistake like accidentally saving an assembly into a newer version of SOLIDWORKS can have detrimental effects to a project timeline. Luckily, with a 3D drive on the 3D Experience platform, you can keep previous versions that you can revert to if needed. And it's not just for SOLIDWORKS files. Any files you store, such as PDFs, Microsoft Office files, etc., all will follow the same principles. Let's take a closer look. When you're in 3D Drive, if you select a part, you will see some icons pop up towards the upper right of your widget. By selecting the information icon, a small sidebar will appear with a number of tabs. In this video, I will be focusing on the History tab, which is signified by a clock symbol with an arrow. When you select this tab, you will see all of the previous versions available to you, as well as the time they were saved. Here you can see that version 1 is signified with a model of the number 1, and the current version is version 2, which is signified with a model of the number 2. Now, there are a couple of scenarios that you might run into. The first scenario that I'm going to discuss is if you've installed 3D Drive locally and are syncing files locally with your computer's File Explorer. Each time you open and modify a file, once saved will create a new entry in the history automatically. This can be seen here as I change the model from version 2 to version 3. Once saved, you can see that a new entry for version 2 appears as it is moved to the history. The second scenario that I want to discuss is if you are not using and syncing your 3D Drive locally. It is still possible to replace the current version saved to the platform while keeping the history intact. To do this, with your modified file that has been saved locally, head to 3D Drive on the 3D Experience platform, click once on the part that you would like to update and select it. And select the update icon found in the upper right corner of the widget, signified by the arrow pointing up. Select the updated file from your local File Explorer and it will automatically update the file and the file history. If you ever want to revert to an older version, just select the drop-down arrow next to the version that you would like to revert to and select Restore. This will make that version current and push the version that it replaced to the top of the history list. If you ever need a copy of the current version or one of the versions in the history, you can select the download option. As a default, the platform will maintain 5 versions in your history and will remove them after 30 days. Platform administrators can change this by heading to the Content tab of the Platform Management dashboard. Under the Manage Setting tabs of the Drive's Control Center, you will find the Iterations policy, under which you can change the number of iterations you would like to maintain and for how long they are stored. Administrators can also open the Drive's Control Center directly from the 3D Compass. If there is currently the maximum number of iterations in the history and someone saves or updates the file, the version furthest back in the history will automatically be removed. Alright, now just a couple of quick tips before we wrap up. First, the preview shown for certain files such as SOLIDWORKS models may not update instantly. So if you're not seeing the preview update and can't quite figure out why it's not saving correctly, try opening the file and you may very well find that the file saved and that the preview has just not yet updated. And for the last tip, if you are utilizing the update method rather than saving and syncing locally, if you attempt to update with a file of a different name, you will receive a warning message that the file will maintain that of the original on the platform. If you choose to continue, the updated file data will be saved to the platform but will remain under the original name. This does prohibit you from updating versions with something like a suffix and seeing that suffix in the history, but it allows you to update files without having to worry about maintaining consistent naming. And the warning is a nice touch to make sure that you don't accidentally update the wrong part if you are using consistent naming. Alrighty, that's all for now. Hopefully you have a better understanding of how to manage your file history with 3D Drive on the 3D Experience platform. If you would like to see how 3D Experience can work for you, contact us with the information found in the description. And in the meantime, be sure to subscribe to our social channels and follow our newsletter to keep up to date with the latest Swift news and promotions.